Big shout to okjersey.com. Scan the QR code below and actually go to the link below to get affordable football shirts from all the European leagues, including the English clubs, all of them, Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City, Spurs, Chelsea, all of them, of course, are all there. You can get the current ones, past seasons, and also some absolute gems out there, vintage ones, and actually very affordable football shirts, high quality, like the one I'm wearing right here. It is very simple to get one. Let me show you how. You go to the website. It's very simple. You click on the Premier League, pick the club you want. For me, I pick Newcastle, for example. You go there, you will find all the current ones, training ones as well. You add whatever you want to the cart. Of course, check the sizes, add a patch, add to cart, but also never forget, as it says below, scan the QR code and put the code JUDGE in the checkout to get 8% discount. It's that easy. Just go to the website, check the football shirt you want. You will not regret it. Now, let's get back to our stream. Hello, people, and welcome to Footy Judgment. Arsenal with Declan Rice. That is the most consistent player in the league now. Of course, masterclass by Declan Rice to lead Arsenal to win away at Bournemouth 3-2. A lot of people thought the Arsenal would lose this game. I know it for a fact, and I've seen it. I've seen it on social media. Everyone, when Gabriel made that mistake, they started tweeting, here we go, they're going to bottle it. The bottle jobs are here. They're going to bottle the game and everything. And also, when Bournemouth scored the second goal, they started saying that Arsenal will bottle the league. Chelsea tomorrow, with Dan Potts managing Chelsea to go against, of course, Manchester City at the Etihad. Of course, Manchester City are going to smack Chelsea tomorrow. They're going to catch up to Arsenal. Can Chelsea get something out of it? And actually, we'll know about it. Of course, pick up everybody that is here. Romario Webster, you all know him. Talk Sport, of course, panelist is here with us. Romario Webster, of course. We got Tarik repping Man City with the best background on YouTube, of course, the best Man City background on YouTube, of course. And we got my guy who's always here every game, every weekend. My man, Gunnar Souls is here, my brother. And for the first time on this channel, Kwess Knows Ball is here as well. Kwess Knows Ball is here, repping Chelsea, title contenders Chelsea. Absolutely here, world champions Chelsea. Title contenders Chelsea, of course. Pick up everybody that is here. Hit that like button. We have 500 people in the house, and we are just starting the show. So I want the likes to be 300 today. Of course, hit the like button. I know there's some of you watching whatever, AFCON, Tunis, whatever. Hit the like button. I'm going to put Gunnar Souls up here, the winner's top of the league. How is everyone doing? Happy New Year. It's the first time I see you guys since the New Year. Happy New Year, people. How is everyone doing?
Great.
Oh, has it
Happy
been
New
the
Year.
happiest of New Years? Yeah.
Yeah, doing good, man. Top of the league, Mo. Can't complain, can you, really? Delightful.
I'm good, man. I'm good. We've got a lot of change going on around my end. Yeah, but I'm good regardless.
Quest, it's a safe space. Be honest. If you're not okay, you can admit
Hey.
it.
Hey, new year, new us. Or maybe same us. I don't even know at this point.
I'm gonna start by not asking the Arsenal guys. I'm gonna ask Tarik. You watched the game? Arsenal game?
Yep.
I'm gonna ask you something. Are you convinced?
Convinced by Arsenal?
Yep.
I mean, let's be honest. I mean, as much as they are the best team in the league at the moment, they won. I won't necessarily say convincingly, but they did what they needed to do, and at this point in the season, that's all that matters. So, I think
So what happened today makes you not convinced? Why did you say it's not convincing? What happened
as
today?
far as I think Bournemouth had their chances, but at the end of the day, like I said, and I'm trying to be consistent because I say the same thing for my team, right? All I care about is getting across the line. Give me those 3 points, and even if it's not pretty, just give me those 3 points. And so, to their credit, and to Declan Rice's credit, he got them the 3 points that they needed. So the reality is they are in a position, I think it's 6 points ahead. Is it 7? So at the end of the day, even if we win all of our matches, including the 3 points against them, they should still win the league. So, they're in the best position. That's the position I would want to be in. But I still think there's going to be some twists, some turns between now and the end of the season. And so we just have to see if they can hold their nerve. So far they have, and credit to them. But the pressure only goes up from here. So we'll see.
Pressure is on you, not on them.
I mean, you say that. I don't know why the pressure would be on us again coming in.
Because they are 7 points ahead. What happened last game?
Right.
When they won against Villa,
pressure to win.
When they won against Villa, you didn't win against Sunderland, right? You didn't win against Sunderland.
I mean, the pressure to win the league is on them, right? That's what I'm saying. The pressure as they get closer to the league,
and it should be on you. We got to talk about that in general.
You say that, but they've not won it yet, so they have to win it. They're not going to be in a better position than this season, so they have to go from here to win it.
I don't want to talk in general. I want to talk about the game first, and then we're going to talk in general, because it's actually a point that was raised a couple of days ago. I think on I can remember on Sky Sports about who has more pressure. Kwess, did you watch the game?
Yeah, I did, man. I did.
Are you convinced by Arsenal?
Convinced. What do you mean by convinced?
Easy question.
I disagree.
That's an easy question, Kwess.
I actually disagree with Tarik here, and the reason why I disagree: at this stage of the season, I am analyzing performances more than results. This is not the time when you actually look for results. When you look for results, it's the last hurdle. It's the last 5-6 games. You get it by hooks or by crooks, you're getting the results, right? Today, it's game week 20, right? We're analyzing, is it sustainable? Is it not sustainable? Are the performances good? Is this player play well? Is this player play bad? Are the defense, are the attack sustainable? This stage of the season, it's more about performances than results, actually. You know why? Because there are recovery times. Because even if today, for example, if you perform bad, right? That means you can catch up, you can improve results, right? That's why performances now are more important than results, in my opinion, in this stage of the season. I don't know if anybody agrees or disagrees, but that's
I disagree, probably. To be honest with you.
Do you know why Mo makes a good point? Because you think start of the season, Liverpool, I think they won their first 6 or 7 games in the league, and they weren't playing great, but everyone was saying that's the making of champions when you're not playing great and you can win. Mo makes a good point. I never really thought of it like that, but if you're not performing 18, 19 games in, what's to say you're going to be performing by the 28th, 29th game? So I know what Mo means, and I think just the way we played today, we didn't actually play great, but we picked our moments, and when we needed to sort of break Bournemouth down and get the goals, we done it. We didn't have a shot after we equalised. We didn't have a shot since the 18th minute, and then the best midfielder and Declan Rice just pops up and
Ooh.
starts to grab 2 goals for himself. I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, I was falling asleep watching this. So in terms of performance, it's not the greatest from us. That's probably why, as rival fans,
I disagree. Again, I disagree with the performance not being good,
the
actually.
reason I say that is because you can see the reaction of Kwess and Tarik is they're not fully convinced by us. And it's because the way we play, you got to think it was 3-2. Gabriel makes a mistake. Krupi Jr. scores a banger, but we're not blowing teams away. We're not. Like, I'm just going to be honest. It's not like we dominated Bournemouth today. We always felt like we were in control. But yeah, like, if you're not convinced by us now, I don't think you ever will be. We're obviously in there. I think it's our title to lose at this point. I think we should win it. But yeah, that's the only reason I'd say that, boys.
No, to be fair, the only reason I'll probably say that I disagree with what Mo was saying is because I probably more agree with what T said, in that if you've got a 7-point advantage, it actually is about results. Like for me, when you're playing bad, get the job done. And actually, it helps that when Arsenal are not playing bad, other teams are playing worse than them.
Yeah,
that helps. Like, what they're not having to deal, and this is no fault of their own, by the way, but what they're not having to deal with this season is Man City on steroids, going on like a 52 million game winning streak, and they're not having to deal with Liverpool deciding they actually want to defend their title this year. No disrespect, but that is actually a bigger crime than City not being able to keep up. But we're not talking about it, and I don't really know why we're not talking about it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. But for Arsenal, it's a huge benefit to them because they're just not having to deal with the same kind of pressure. I mean, if Villa is the team chasing you, I would be confident as an Arsenal fan. If Villa's chasing me,
you think I think City are putting the pressure on before they're held to who did they lose to? Who did City? No, they didn't even lose. They drew to Sunderland.
They drew Sunderland.
Before City drew at Sunderland, I think they'd won like 9 or 10 in a row. They've been on a long run. I know what you mean, but if City win tomorrow, they're 2 points behind us. No, they're 4 points behind us. So,
yeah, and I'm not saying they're not putting pressure on, by the way. It's more so that I'm saying the kind of pressure is different to seasons past.
Yeah,
like even 2 seasons ago when Man City chased them down, yeah, like City weren't just like getting over the line; they were winning games and winning games convincingly. Like they were going up the road to.
So you're not convinced by City?
I predicted them to win the league at the start of the season, but when I look at everything that's happening now, I just think even at Arsenal's worst, they're meeting teams that are playing worse than them. So for me, that gap, if Arsenal do what Arsenal usually do, which is to fall away and bottle it, whatever we always say, yeah, which of course I pray and hope for as a Chelsea fan, I ain't gonna lie, yeah, I think they would have built up enough of a gap in the lead that they will actually get away with it this time. Because I don't think the same teams are there to put the same kind of pressure on this season. That would be my mid-season prediction.
Disingenuous. Like, you've got to look at the season as a whole. And I'll explain it. I'll explain why I'm saying it's disingenuous.
Right.
Now, if you look at this game in isolation, no Saka, right?
Yeah.
There was no Saka. We rotated our team. We've rotated our team pretty much all season, whatever the reason behind it is. Now, even if you look at our defense, we've not had our starting back four for the majority of the season. You can use this as an excuse, but what I'm saying is the reason why these performances or like whatever people want to say aren't looking that convincing is due to the fact that we are rotating, we're using the depth, which is what the fan base told you, by the way. Arsenal fans all summer said, we have got the best depth in Europe. And now you've seen it. We've had Hincapi play, we've had Mosquera play, we've had Calafiori come in there, we've had Miles Lewis-Skelly come in there, White Timber rotating. We've had literally the most unstable backline, yet we're well, if they win, we're 4 points clear. So that's what I'm saying. The performances might not be there. We might not be looking that convincing, but it's only going to get better from here because we've got the players back. They've come back from long-term injuries. We're showing the rotation. Madueke came on for Saka today, and we didn't miss a heartbeat. It looked good. Like, yes, there was a few moments of like on frailties and stuff like that where we can maybe control the game better. But at the end of the day, we're showing different dynamics to beating different teams. Villa got absolutely spanked in a different way to when Bournemouth scored 3 goals today, to how we've won games in the past. Even Gyökeres isn't firing. You know, we've still got Jesus and Havertz to come back to full fitness. We've gone to the majority of the big away grounds. We've only got 2 in the top half of the table left to play. So I think it is different this year. And I think the reason why a lot of Arsenal fans, I'm, by the way, staying reserved and taking it game by game. I'm focused on my next game, which is Liverpool, I believe. And that's my focus. But at the end of the day, you've also got to look at the context behind some of these performances to why they're maybe not the convincing Arsenal. And I do think it's only going to get better whilst these players are coming
Why
back.
are people saying it wasn't convincing today?
I believe it was.
Let me put that. I want to go about the game today first before I go in the general consensus, talk about Chelsea, Man City tomorrow, and the general consensus of the league. I want to talk about the game today first. I saw Arsenal of last season and the season before. If Gabriel makes that mistake, they don't win the game.
Yeah.
I think the Arsenal of last season, the season before, 3-2 down, 3-1 up. Bournemouth get a brilliant goal. I believe they drew the game. I believe they don't win the game. I don't believe that Arsenal would have seen out the game if that was the Arsenal of last season, the season before. I think they would have crumbled. And that's why I'm giving them credit to what they did today. How they saw the game out at the end. How they went to the corners. How they won corners. How they won throw-ins. How they kept it in the last 2-3 minutes. They kept it in the Bournemouth half. That was a different Arsenal than the Arsenal that used to crumble.
No, do you know what the biggest thing was?
Also, one more thing. Can I add one more thing? I think the Arsenal without Bukayo Saka would not have come back into the game. Arsenal of last year, right, or the year before, wouldn't have been able to rotate Saka and still play better. Arsenal last year and year before needed stability. Arsenal rotated the two wingers and still played well. Hincapie and Martinelli didn't play together a lot as a left back and a winger. That's why I'm giving them. By the way, away at a Bournemouth team that only lost one game all season at home and only conceded 6 goals in 10 games or something like this, or 9 games at home. Arsenal scored 3. So I genuinely believe that is a compliment for Arsenal. It's not that they were not convinced. Coming back from 1-0 down to 3-1 up away at Bournemouth is a convincing thing.
Yeah, but I knew that.
I agree with people.
But Mo, do you know what? I knew that was going to happen from the start of the game. Because Bournemouth were
a very good team.
But if you listen, trust me when I say this. I was saying it in the group chat. The moment Bournemouth scored, I was like, yeah, it's not happening. I could see in the performance that Bournemouth were not playing well. They were giving
Bournemouth were playing very well, actually.
Nah, they were pressing well.
They were definitely gifted the goal.
They were pressing well. They were
pressing well. I thought they were playing very well. Oh, come on.
I hear you. No, listen, because what I don't want people to hear me saying what I'm saying and think I'm dissing Arsenal here. I'm giving Arsenal credit, but what I'm also saying is Bournemouth were not good today. Listen, the very fact that Iraola played Semenyo out of position told me everything I needed to know about the run of this game.
Out of position.
He's a left winger and he's playing right wing.
He played a lot right winger, actually.
I've had this debate about Pedro Neto.
He started in the left winger and Brooks was the right winger.
Majority of the game, Semenyo was right wing. Unless I'm going mad. I seen him right wing.
They swapped a bit. They were
interchangeable, but
he was on the right a lot
because of Timber. He swapped him because he started on the left and then he swapped him to the right side.
Either way, I would hope that a manager that has worked with Semenyo this much would understand, even if he's struggling, you don't swap him on that side because he's going to get.
He has done this many games. Kwess has done this.
All right, let's move away from Semenyo anyway, because I think it's going to take away from the point I'm trying to make, which is my point is Arsenal did well in this game. I actually give them a lot of credit today because I agree with you. I think in seasons previous we would have seen them 100% crumble, but for me, also the tail of the tape was Bournemouth were not playing well. I think they were very, very I wouldn't say lucky, but even that wonder goal, the fact that it was a wonder goal said everything about how they were playing. It wasn't a pattern of play. The first goal that they got was Gabriel giving them a goal. So for me, I could see it from 1-0. I said in our group chat, like if any of the guys in the chat now, they'll tell you, I said 3-1.
Which group chat?
No, I'm in the with all the Arsenal boys on my neck. That one. It might just put on my neck.
Top 6?
Yeah. TFT.
Me and Souls are there only.
Yeah. So I said 3-1 in there because I knew what was coming. But that's not taken away from Arsenal. I don't think it's disingenuous what I'm saying, because I also think to also say like you rotated as if that made you weaker, to me is a little bit like, I don't know if I'd agree, because also all of the players you're rotating in were all starters at other teams.
No, Madueke
But
was
that-
your third choice
Right.
winger.
So
Regardless
okay,
of whether they're
let's say
starters
you
or
took
the
away
club.
one. Let's take I like that, Mo. Let's say you take away one. The rest of the entire team were all starters at other teams. This is not rotating to like your second or third string.
No,
Even if you brought
I'm
on
not having this.
Eze,
I'm not having because
what are you not having? I'm not saying it's bad.
All summer, I've been on panels, right, arguing the fact that we've got the best depth in Europe, and I'm hearing your bench is shit.
No, who in okay?
Yeah, I don't know
I would
who's
never
arguing
say
that
yeah.
point.
Who
People
would
were
That
arguing.
sounds- any-
No,
no
we
one-
got called delusional for saying that. We got told, no, you don't have the best depth. You don't even have the best 11. You don't have this. It's Liverpool. This,
Yeah, no,
Liverpool
no.
that, Real Madrid. This, Real Madrid. That, Barcelona. This, Barcelona. That.
Yes.
Buying this, buying that. So let's not now start being
No.
dishonest about the
No.
conversation
But
that
I
people have.
agree. I agree that I still don't think you have the best squad. But in terms of depth, yes, one of the best in Europe. And
depth
I've
is
been saying
squad.
that since. Yeah, okay. All right. So let's play semantics.
Pound for
then. Let's say
pound,
so. I think you've
pound
got
for
one of
pound.
the best.
But a
in
squad
Europe.
is your main team, like including your bench.
Right.
If you're
Okay.
saying starting 11, that's a different conversation.
But this is also what worries me about Arsenal fans. I can't believe that you're ready to win your first title and you are worried
Arsenal
about
have
all
the
of
best
these.
starting 11, by the way, in the league. but-
I can't believe these are the things that you guys are even worried about. Like win your
I'm
first
just
title.
saying,
No,
have an
no,
honest
no.
conversation. I don't
But
care.
it is an honest conversation because it's my
No, it's not,
opinion.
because people were not saying these are starters for other clubs, so that's why your depth is good. No one was rating the depth. People are
No,
like,
we
delusional
we
for saying
rated
that.
the depth, but what was happening was we had people coming on panels all over the internet saying things like you've got the best squad in the whole multiverse, and we was like, bro, relax.
They
Stop
actually
saying
do.
stop saying you've got the best
No, but
squad in the
Quest,
world because
Quest,
there's no
if
way to
you're-
prove that.
No, but Quest, if you're honest, it's just you look at it on paper. It's the same way how before the season we all thought Liverpool would win the league because they won it the year before. Then you signed Isaac Verts. No one.
Yeah, they should have. Yeah,
Hold on,
yeah,
am
they
I
should've.
tripping here? Because
Yeah, they
do
should've.
the people in the chat have something against Quest clip from the Football Terrace or Osam or other
I
channels?
think they think I'm
Because why
dunking
do
on them.
people in the chat are on Quest's neck? I think he's giving compliments
Can
to
I? Hey,
Arsenal.
no.
Is
Can
there
I?
is there something I don't know that Quest said on the terrace or something?
No,
I'm like,
there is.
what is happening?
No, Quest. I
Is
think I
there
know what
something
you're
about
saying.
it that I don't understand? I want to know.
Nah, what Quest is saying, I think, tell me if I'm wrong, but you're basically saying the rest of the league aren't performing the way that it has done in seasons gone by, like when Liverpool finished second with 97 points. That's what you're saying.
And that's not
I
a
get
diss
it.
to Arsenal.
Yeah, I
It's not a
get it.
diss to Arsenal. Because Arsenal
get
still
what
got
you're
to do what they got to do. Like, and they're
Hold
doing
on. The league is harder than then.
it.
Oh my
I
God.
think pound for pound is
Oh my
harder.
God.
I think it's
It's a
harder.
league.
I
Bro,
think it is.
Man
I think it
City
is.
Man City went to Nottingham Forest, who
At
are
the
in
top.
the bottom three, and
At the top.
struggled.
No,
But
Quest,
my issue is what's going on at the top.
Oh my God.
No, but
The
what I'm
Liverpool and Man City Quest used to slap teams like this with ease. You walk
that's
in, you
my
lost.
point.
But
That's
are
my
you,
point.
you're assuming that means that the rest of the league has gotten better as opposed to maybe we're just not as good as we were. And I think
This
that's
is what I'm
We're
saying.
just not the
That's
same
what-
team
Guys,
that we were
Arsenal
back
are
then.
on course to get 90 points as well. Also, I'm sorry. Arsenal are on course, logically speaking, to get 95 points because they are actually currently, mathematically, on course to get 90 points, having played 8 out of the top 10 away from home. So, logically speaking, they will get more points in the second half. So that means Arsenal are strong. The rest of the league are actually strong. Bournemouth, 5 teams on the table, have about 3-4 players that might start for tons of teams. Their fullbacks are brilliant.
Yeah, but where are
Semenyo's
they?
brilliant. But that tells you that
That's
the
my
league is
point.
much harder than before. To
You
win
could,
away at
you could argue both ways. You could say that the league is harder. You could also say collectively the league has actually got worse. A lot more teams. You could argue. No. The reason why I'm saying that is you could argue that a lot of the teams that made the top 6 last season have actually fallen away significantly. City don't look the same. Liverpool don't look the same.
But
Newcastle don't look the
everyone
same.
says
Chelsea
the
don't
same
look the
thing.
We
same.
have never had Liverpool, City,
but
and
that-
another team look all good together. We have never had 3 teams look great. Never happened.
But we've at
over the
least
last, like 8 years.
we've at least had 2.
And we
right
have
now,
3 this season. We have
nah, bro.
Villa on an 11-game winning streak.
But do you
Man
believe they can win it? Because when we've had title seasons previous, my point exactly.
This is
when we've had
smoke and mirrors for Aston Villa.
Yes, because this is what I mean. In seasons previous, when we've talked about City or Liverpool or Arsenal in that bracket, we know that's a proper title race. There's none of you, not a single one of us, even thinks for a second Villa have an actual chance of winning this Premier League.
Everyone has
And if you no, if you don't, put your hand on heart, put your house on it. You believe went down to the wire last day of the season. Someone's got to win, and it's Villa. No, I know they can. I'm saying, what do you believe? Because you truly don't believe in your heart that Villa can beat you to the title. You don't believe that.
No. It doesn't mean they can beat us, but they can definitely mount a challenge.
So.
No, but it's all irrelevant because Liverpool. Everyone said the same thing to Liverpool.
I rate Arsenal, by the way.
No, but Kwess, everyone said the same thing to Liverpool.
I know you rate them now, but I guarantee you didn't rate them at the beginning.
I'm not even saying what you're saying is wrong or right, but what I'm saying is, let's be honest about the conversation, because no one was sitting here in the summer when Arsenal fans were saying we've got or someone saying we have got the best squad in Europe, saying, oh yeah, they start for this club. That's not what we were hearing. So I'm just saying, be honest about the conversation.
Yeah, but I get, but right. So you're essentially telling me that I'm being dishonest. Because I'm saying I don't believe Arsenal have the best squad in Europe, which I don't believe.
No. What I'm saying is people have been saying our squad depth wasn't that great, and that's what I'm combating. You're saying most of our depth, like Madueke starts for other teams, this person starts.
I always thought you had a good squad. I just didn't believe you had the best squad in the world. I stand by.
Can we not talk about the world? Can we talk about the league?
In the league, yeah, of course. But then, of course, you've got the best squad in the league. Outside Man City, every second player you have is a starter at another team. Again, that still doesn't take away from Arsenal, by the way, because you've still got to get the job done. And I actually rate the job that Arteta and Arsenal are doing right now. I think they probably deserve a little bit more praise, if I'm being honest with you. I don't like it. I'll tell you the truth.
I don't want it. I don't
like it. But at the same time, it is the truth. Every second position.
Can I ask you guys something for real? Can I ask you guys something
Can I make one last point before you ask a question?
You can run the show. Go ahead.
Yeah. My thing is, we won this game because of the away fans. If this was at home, I actually think the result could have been different. And the reason why I say that is because at home, I've seen the atmosphere go very nervy as soon as a player makes a mistake. The away fans today, as soon as Gabriel made that mistake, his name was the one that chanted. And then within a few minutes, he repaid the favor to the fans and scored the goal. At home, this is what I'm going to say to the fan base. Learn from the away fans. I know those away fans go to these games, but the rest of the stadium needs to learn a damn lesson from today. You don't go nervy. Stop making the atmosphere nervy. Stop making it so that the players also feel that energy. You need to give them that positive energy when you're at that stadium. I've heard it from a lot of fans, by the way, that have gone to these games saying, the last 10 minutes against Brighton was very shaky, very nervy, and they were hearing ummers and murmurs going around the stadium. That's what we need to stop. We need to learn from the likes of City. We need to learn from Liverpool. When they've gone on to win this league title, you've got to be on your players, backing them, chanting for them. What do you feel like about Arteta, whether you want him to fuck off, you do that after the game. Go on your reactions, go on your cameras and go do whatever the hell you want. But when you're at that stadium, back this team, because now is the time we need to be chanting every single one of their names. And that's when they will repay the favor.
100%. But can I tell you something about Arsenal today? You know, at 1-0 down, did you guys see Arsenal didn't panic at all, right? Has anyone noticed what happened today? There's no panic. Everyone was just doing their job at 1-1. And I think that is the difference, to be honest with you. I feel like Arteta was calm. I think the Arsenal team believed more than before. Even in the press conferences, I believe that, to be honest with you. And people are going to say, oh, but why are you about Arsenal? What's different about Arsenal? The depth. He knows if Madueke doesn't play well, he has Saka on the bench. He knows that there is Jesus on the bench. He knows that Martinelli is on the bench. He knows that. He knows that he has depth. And I'm looking at Arteta 1-0 down, didn't panic. I didn't think that they panicked. I didn't think that they looked like
early in the match. There was no need to panic at that point. I mean,
last video they were panic.
They're going to come back. Now, to your point, last seasons maybe they would have. Yeah, that's fair. But
I want to do the super chats, but I want to ask a question to everyone. And But before I ask that, let me do the super chat because they are related to the points. When people said last year, you were arguing. When people said that this last year, you were arguing. I can't remember what are you talking about, my man? Which point was that then? Like what time was that then? Is that about the squad? Was that about Arsenal winning it? Was that about Arsenal being different? Was that about City? I can't remember which part was that you were talking about. If someone in the chat can tell me. City already panicking. I don't know. City are not panicking, to be honest with you. Are not panicking. Not yet. The league floor got better. The ceiling dropped. Yes. About the level of the league. Yeah. The people would not say in this last year.
That's a good way to articulate it, I think.
Which makes all the games harder. Which makes the games against the 15th and the 16th and the 17th harder. Logically speaking, if the floor is raised, that means these games are harder.
But also think about it: the amount of investment that these bottom teams are making is a huge amount now. Like you're seeing some of these smaller teams making 80 to 100 million pound windows.
To be fair, though, I get
it's
that,
not the
but
bottom, because if you think about Wolves, they're like historically bad, right? It's more the middle has gotten better and the top has gotten worse. It's more compressed. The bottom is still the bottom. The bottom three are still really historically bad. It is what it is. But I think this the middle.
Guys, if Sunderland, a newly promoted team, can get that much investment in, that means the floor is higher. So I heard the league last season was asked, but everything is going the exact same way for Arsenal instead of Liverpool this season. But now it's competitive. No, but Fonzie, last season, I said that the league was hard. That there was no title race, which is the difference between last season and this season. But the league is tough. Liverpool didn't walk teams last season, Fonzie. And I made sure that I mentioned this plenty of times. You know me, and I mentioned this plenty of times. The league is harder by definition of my previous messenger chat. Yeah, because of the floor, 100% Devin. By definition, if the floor is higher, is definition, which is RSB here is making the point. Since 2022, TV money has been evenly distributed. Basically makes the league even more competitive. It makes the league more competitive. My man here is saying, nitpicking the team after a win with a bench full of starters. We used to pray for times like this. Nervy, but 3 points are 3 points. Come on, you Gunners. Big enough fair. Good. It's a good win for Arsenal. I thought Arsenal today were good. Listen, I'm going to say something. Having Declan Rice scoring these 2 goals, it's a statement win. Your midfielder scoring these 2 goals is a statement win, in my opinion. About Declan Rice, is he the best midfielder in the league now?
It has to be.
On form, yeah.
Not
On
even
form.
on form, bro. This is what I mean. It's just a rap now, though, isn't it? Who's better than him and why?
They'll probably have to think about it, but
the fact you have to think about it tells me if you're talking about who's done.
Because I think if City was still in this title race and they were a point behind,
City are in the title race.
We're not
yes.
But
okay, guys,
are not walking away with the league.
No. I understand his point, but yeah, no. So we're still here. We ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, people would be saying Rodri.
Well, I was going to say, Rodri, I think is still in that conversation, but he's been hurt. And so to say right now, today, he's literally only played 1 game.
That's why I'm saying
season,
if.
He's not. And
that's why on form, Rice is the best right now. You get it?
You know, Rodri missed the whole year. You know who's
missing.
But
that's why my point is on form. Because Declan Rice right now.
How long does form go though? How? Because I keep hearing this on form, and I even remember
on
with
form
Saka.
Isn't 19 or 20 games.
So let me land, bro. Because I kept hearing people say Saka's not world class until he plays Champions League. Cole Palmer's barely stepped foot in the Champions League, but he's one of the best 10s in the world apparently. Like when does Declan Rice get his flowers? Admittedly, he hasn't got the Premier League, he hasn't got the Champions League, so it's hard to truly put him above Rodri. But like Chelsea fans love comparing him to Caicedo. Surely even surely you can just admit it in your heart. Just look inside, Kwess, and tell me Rice isn't better than Caicedo. And Rodri hasn't played in over a year. So, like, what are we doing?
Yeah, I mean, this is why I talk about form, because I think Declan Rice is doing a really good job.
So if KDB come back to the Prem, would he be the best midfielder in the league on foot?
Unequivocally, if City were pushing for the league, yes. I don't even think that's a question.
Bro, but
KDB ran so people like Declan Rice could walk, by
Can
the
you
way.
define what on form is
So-
like? Because on form for me is 5 games.
No, form is like what he's doing this season. He's in the form of his life.
Nah, form's
No,
shorter
but
than
last
that.
season
Bro.
he was
Form
doing
isn't
similar
the
things.
season.
Yeah, he was good last season. I just don't think he was the best player in the league. I think if you'd have asked anybody, they would have said Kevin De Bruyne is the best midfielder in the league.
He wasn't last season though, was
Not
he?
last season he wasn't.
I'm just saying, if you'd have asked people, they probably would have told you Kevin De Bruyne was the best. This is a
Last season people weren't talking about De Bruyne.
Listen, by the way, it's all opinions. We don't have to agree on this. I'm
Yeah, but-
just saying Kevin De Bruyne is a player.
Questions, there's
All
a
right,
war
man.
against him.
Because I'm like, it doesn't. I get the so many look. Because what I get is, yeah, people think as a Chelsea fan, there's every Chelsea fan is running agendas to try and like play down Arsenal players. By the way, that's not my stance.
I'm starting to think
No,
you
no.
are though.
I'm just making sure your opinions don't go unchecked. That's all it is. I just want to understand your thought process.
Right. Okay. So what I'm saying to you is, yeah, is like when people were putting KDB in conversations of Premier League all-time Mount Rushmore, Declan Rice can't get in. If you're saying there's a 4-player Mount Rushmore and 3 of those players
Yeah,
are
but that's
already.
combo, bro. That's
So what do you want me to say? You want me to tell you
who is currently?
It's a simple question.
who's
Who
number
is the
one
best
no,
midfielder in
But
the
that's
league?
why the conversation is today, right? Today,
Exactly.
I think
That's my
today,
point.
I think
That's
it's
my
fair to
point.
say today, Declan Rice is the best midfielder in the league. I have no problem saying that today.
Brilliant.
Which
There
I
you
think
go.
is a
Now,
Not
but
hard.
if we're
form.
saying careers and all that stuff, that's a different conversation.
Yeah,
today,
different convo. Different.
Yeah, today I think Declan Rice is. My hope is that Rodri gets back to and this becomes a conversation again. I don't have any
But
guarantees that happens, but for now, I can say Declan Rice is.
Chris,
Let
you
me
know the
ask you
reason
this question.
is
If Arsenal
important?
were where Chelsea was, do you think you'd say the same about Declan Rice?
Yeah, but we're not. You're doing if bots.
All
maybe.
right. So
I
then
do
why are you
absolute-
even asking me this question?
Because
Why are
it's
you even
more
asking me
than
this
just-
question?
No, but it's more
Because
than
all
just this
no.
season, bro.
Because what you have to understand is because this is what jars me. Right now, your team is the best in the league, and because of that, you're
one
also
of the
saying,
reasons is Declan Rice.
"Oh my gosh!"
Now, Kwess, let me just explain. Because, bro, at the end of last season, the way Rice was, it's Champions League. Even in the league, to be fair, in the season, Rice was bagging goals and the rest of the team was on holiday. But Declan Rice, what he's done in probably the last 3 seasons, even when he was at West Ham in his last year, he's immense. But he hasn't got the body of work to back it up. He hasn't got the trophies where you can sit here and say confidently he's better than X or Y because he hasn't won the trophy. So I get it. But in terms of the reason it's important is because, bro, start of the season, you had Paul Scholes, one of the best midfielders ever, saying Tonali's better than Rice. Now, Tonali's cold. I rate him, but this is the level of disrespect. You can't even sit there and be humble like my man Tarik and just say, you know what? Best in the league at the minute. Just say it. Just say it, Kwess.
So basically, unless I agree with you, I'm dishonest.
No, because you're not.
I'm not humble. How many more names are we going to chuck out because I don't agree?
No, but
Kwess, every time I try and explain what I mean, you're like, let's keep it honest.
Right, who's better? No, but who's
Bro.
better, Kwess? Who's better right now in the league? Who
I
are you
said,
putting in your
I
team
said
ahead of
on
Rice?
form. On form. Rice is
Yeah,
the
but
best.
Why is there a nuance to it?
Because
Why
we're talking
can't you
about
just
now.
say-
Right now, you are in the best period in your club's history, probably. Right
See,
now.
you've gone too left. It's just not even about
You lot
that.
said you got the best squad in the multiverse. How is that not the best in your history, bro? You've
Bro,
never had a
better-
better squad than
you-
this.
Better than Invincibles. Just
Listen,
relax.
I don't think
that.
that. I don't think that. But if you lot, that's what I said. If you lot are telling me you got the best squad in
She's
the
gone
whole
mad, yeah.
world, then what do you want me to say? Is this not one of the best?
No,
Maybe I should
no,
say.
know what we mean.
I'm just making sure. I'm just making sure your opinion, matches your thought process. I'm just asking you a simple question: what does on form mean? Because on form has
On form
different-
means this season. Yeah.
on form.
this
Okay, I'll
season.
explain. For most people, on form is 5 to 10 games.
But I don't care about most. I care about me. You ask me.
No, but you
I
have
don't
to
care
go by
what
the
most people-
universal definition.
Oh,
You
so I
can't
have
just make
to
your own opinions on it.
Hey, then-
If I say I've got the best squad in Europe, but I'm like, no, I meant just in this county. That doesn't make sense because Europe is Europe. I can't just make my own definition and pluck it out of the air and go, no, I meant county. I just meant North London. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to be precise with what your definitions.
My precise definition is on form this season. Declan Rice is probably yes, the best midfielder in the league. Yeah.
I
probably
can
this
rephrase the
season.
question
Not
to
good
please
enough for me.
everyone. I can
This season.
rephrase the question. I can rephrase the question to please everyone, right? Let me just do my job as a host. So, Kwess, I know that it's on form this season. He's the best midfielder in the league. In your opinion, you said that. I'm asking you, do you think within a year, within 2 years from now, we're watching the Premier League, do you think Declan Rice is going to be better or Caicedo is going to be better? Honest.
I actually don't know.
You don't. Oh,
I
fair
actually
enough.
don't know. Genuinely. And by the way, do you know why this frustrates me so much? Can I just tell you why this frustrates me so much? Yeah. In the summer, I was clipped up, put on Instagram, and I was cooked by an entire comment section for saying Declan Rice would have won the Ballon d'Or if we'd have won the Prem and the Champions League last season. So for anybody that thinks I don't rate Rice, you are smoking Kuba.
I know you do.
It's not that I don't rate Rice. I have campaigned for this guy to get more honors, but what I'm not gonna do is let you guys try and force me.
I'm not forcing anything, bro. I'm
To glaze this guy like I'm Krispy Kreme.
That
Bro.
sounds like
He's
a
good,
gentleman.
and right now,
who's asked you to glaze him? I'm just asking for your definition of things.
We just asked a question.
It's not good enough. What do you want me to do?
No,
man?
I'm just making sure I understand.
Let me tell you what.
Doesn't mean this season.
Let me tell you what I think. And I said that on. As I started the season, I said that I would take Caicedo over Declan Rice in the beginning of the season because of how unique he is as a DM. Because I didn't think that there is a DM in the world that possesses both the defensive and on the ball abilities, right? That time. However, more watching games and the stability of teams and how players play, because of what Caicedo did against Arsenal and because of what he did, I don't think he's as consistent as Declan Rice. And one of the main things about being a world-class player or being a top player is not giving me 5 games as a 10, right? And then 5 games as 6, and then say a world-class. I would rather have the player that will give me the 8 out of 10 for 10 games and then give me 2-3 games of 10 out of 10. And that is Declan Rice. In my opinion, he's way more consistent than Moises Caicedo. He might not be a DM like Moises Caicedo, right? But he possesses other aspects of the game. But in their positions, Declan Rice is way more consistent over the games that we played in the Champions League and in the Premier League this season than Caicedo. That's why, currently, as it stands, Declan Rice is ahead in the picking order of Caicedo because of the consistency. Because of the consistency, yes.
Yeah,
100%.
I agree. I fully agree with you. And I don't even want to open up that can of worms, right? Because it could be a can of worms. But then if we're also saying that, and I do think he's better right now, but also Caicedo's what, 3-4 years younger?
He's not. He's actually not 3-4 years younger.
Declan Rice is 27. Caicedo is how old? Just turned, okay, fine.
25,
just turned 25. If that.
Yeah.
If that. So, and I know that one slip of the tongue, they'll run with that. Have it. Here's a baton. Go clear. But my point is, you're talking about a guy that's in a completely different environment. It's not even a conversation that I think is unfair necessarily, but I do think you're talking about disingenuousness. If we're comparing, I know you're not saying that, but if I'm being forced to say Declan Rice the best midfielder in the league, in the world, whatever.
So I want to move on from this point because I want to move to the next point because there is a minute.
Let Kwess finish. I actually want to hear what he's got to say.
I have nothing else to say. Declan Rice.
I thought he's done. I thought he's finished.
He's the best internet service provider.
Even the people in the chat agree with Kwess now, right? Arsenal gets bantered to death when they clap back. This guy, I can't believe you care about it. It's so salty. Hope your pillow is clumpy and warm. Big up, Kwess.
Yeah, man. Big up me, man.
Guys, I'm going to tell you guys something for real in the chat. Guys, there's over 900 people here or 900 people here. Can we get to 500 likes? If you're expecting rivals to just like glaze you and just, I think you don't know like this. They won't. They want you to lose, and that's about it. January 3rd, 2026, Rice is the best midfielder. Rice is the best midfielder, 100%. I want to ask something that I keep asking people, and I want to start with the Arsenal people as well. No, I'm going to start with Tarik. He hasn't spoken for a bit. A lot of people, Tarik, keep saying that Arsenal will bottle this league and City will win it. Not you, but a lot of people. A lot of people keep saying this. I had Phil Jones, who is supposedly a rival with Manchester City because he's Manchester United player, saying that he believes 100% that City will win it and Arsenal will lose the league. Is there any evidence in your mind to people having a clear-cut opinion like this? That, yeah, Man City will win the league and Arsenal will lose the league. Is there anything other than just narratives in your mind?
When you say clear-cut, so
he made
what
it clear-cut. I'm talking about the people that say, I believe that City will win it and Arsenal will not win it.
Because I do believe that, again, I'm a City fan. I'm going to still believe that we have what it takes to win the league. Part of that will require Arsenal to drop points. It is what it is. They're going to have to drop points in order for us to win it. But I think the conversation about them bottling it or dropping points and losing the league is based on previous seasons. And you tell me every time I'm on here, this Arsenal team is not that Arsenal team, right? This Arsenal team this year is not the same as the ones that dropped points or dropped and bottled the league the last two seasons.
Have they proved it to you though? That's a question. You're watching. What I will tell you that they have. You believe that or they haven't?
I have to believe that they're still going to drop points because I'm holding out hope for us to win the league. But what I can tell you is that they consistently have pulled out. Even today, they go behind. I don't ever get too high thinking, oh, they're going to drop points. This is going to be the day I just assume they're going to come back because they have, to this point this season, been consistently able to come back and get wins. Even when it felt like they were going to maybe only get a draw, they turn those into wins, and that has built the lead that they have right this moment. So is there anything that I can point to that is concrete to say this is why they're going to bottle it? No, because again, maybe in previous seasons it was depth. They have that this season. In previous seasons, maybe they were too high emotionally.
Mentality,
all of those things. So I don't think that those things necessarily exist, but they have to go out and show me over the course of a season. It's not a matter. It's not about where they are after 20 matches. They have to go out and consistently continue to do what they've already done, and then that'll shut everybody up. But until that happens, I still hold hope. So I'm still going to believe.
I'm going to back Tarik on this because I think the reality of the matter is, regardless of what we as Arsenal fans say, we can sit here and glaze our team, tell you we're the best, with this, with that. Until they don't go out to win it, I'm expecting these narratives to continue. I'm expecting people to say we're going to bottle it because that is what traditionally what we've done in the past sort of three. Well, you can write off last season if you want, but the last sort of 2 seasons, we were the ones who bottled it. We had a lead, we couldn't maintain it. So at the moment, the history suggests that we can't do it. And that's what we need to now go and prove, whether that's going to win the Carabao Cup and then going on to winning something else, just to show that we can get these sort of moments over the line. Yes, we're showing it in certain games. We're showing the mentality. We're showing that we can win regardless of the pressure that City have applied to us, whether it was Liverpool winning 5 on the dot and beating us, we came to the Anfield, they beat us, and yet we continue to go and go, do you know what, we can push on to win this. City drop points. Usually Arsenal follow that up with something stupid, especially what Gabriel did, like where we drop off in performances because our players are making a mistake on the back of our title rival, whoever that may be, dropping points. So Tarik's right, but until we don't go to the end of the season and we're lifting the Premier League, I'm expecting anyone and everyone, including Arsenal fans, to sit there and go, they need to prove it.
And then I will also add that I think we still have levels that we can get better. I don't think and maybe they feel the same way about Arsenal. I feel like Arsenal are playing pretty close to as good as they can be. I don't think we're there yet. I would say they're probably 8.5, 9 out of 10 for their team. I'm saying we're probably maybe 7 for us, 6.5, 7 for us.
I disagree, and
that's a narrative.
And that's fair. And I expect, like I said, I expect that. But I just know that
why. Can you explain to us why? Okay, before the Arsenal boys answer or Kwess comes in and talk about this, can you explain to us why did you
have levels?
No. Why do you believe that City have levels and Arsenal don't?
Because again,
don't. Because I believe that City have level. I believe you, Tarik. I believe you. But then the narrative that Arsenal don't have another gear to go to is what I'm trying to understand. Why? Why City yes and Arsenal no?
So my statement for City is in some respects based on the fact that I believe Rodri, when he gets back healthy, and he's back now, so it's only one game, or half a game, but I believe that he is going to elevate us, because as good as Nico G has been, he's not Rodri. I think that changes a lot for us. The ability to play Rodri and Nico G together when we're being, because right now the template to beat us is to bully us, because Nico G is trying to play that midfield by himself, along with, say, a Bernardo, who while he's a pest, he's still undersized. And then we got Phil, who will work hard, but he's not physical like that, right? So my ability to combine, I should say, Rodri and Nico G together in those big matches or in those games when we're being overrun, I think changes everything for us.
But why Arsenal? Why have we not got more levels to go?
Because I feel like your team is already playing. And again, I don't know your team like you do, so, fair play. But to me, you're already playing at a high level. I don't know how much. I mean, again, maybe Gabriel doesn't make a mistake in a game like today, but again, he made up for it and he went back and got a goal. So I think that your team, the only way I could see, like, maybe you tell me Havertz comes back and he's head and shoulders above Gyökeres. Okay, I'll take that argument.
Kwess,
but I don't know that I believe that.
I quickly just rebut the reason why I question it, and the reason why I think Arsenal have still got levels to go, is just based on the fact that I don't think Saka has performed that well this season. And Mo knows I've said this before today, so it's not just today I'm saying this. I've been saying it like for a lot of the season. I don't think Saka's been at the races. I think he should have been dropped, and I'm glad he was rotated. Whether you want to say he was dropped, rotated, whatever word you want to use, Gyökeres has been non-existent. Like Mo knows I barely give up on players, but I'm at a point where I just don't know what to do. I don't want to talk about him because I'm just like, he just doesn't do anything for me. And they're the two key reasons why I think. But also the other reason why I think there's still levels to go. And this isn't, I believe both City and Arsenal have levels to go. It's not just about Arsenal having. It's because of our backline. Our backline hasn't actually played together for many games. Even when you look at the Anfield game, within 5 to 10 minutes, Saliba had to come off. Gabriel obviously has been injured. He's come back in the last sort of 2 games. We've had Timber injured. White's been injured. Calafiori's now out for a few games. So we've not really had a stable backline. And I'm not saying that's ever going to be the case. I'm not saying that's it now, because we're in the business end of the season, we're going to have a stable back four. But that's the reasons why I'm saying there's still levels for both teams to go. I don't think either team has shown their full potential. Like you said, when Rodri comes back, whether he's fit, whether he can show those levels again, that's a question mark as well. Foden's been a bit up and down. Can he find that consistency? That'll get you back up to the top. Obviously, Shirky being his first season, you're going to have this sort of dip in and out. Like, he's been phenomenal, by the way, but you're always going to get these odd games where he needs to figure out the Premier League, and that's what he's doing. Like, Nottingham Forest wasn't his best game, but you have seen it in pass where he has been able to find that pass, unlock this creativity, get Haaland in, etc. So I still think both teams are showing that they've got places to go, but they're still winning games.
Can I be honest? I'll be surprised if City get better. Like, Haaland's already got 19.
Okay, that's now disingenuous. Kwess, I'm fair, but that's dishonest.
But so you've got to let me land. Like, why? Why are you saying this? And you know, I'm glad we mentioned KDB earlier, because, like, this isn't the same City. Like, Tarik is referencing Arsenal haven't done it, but this is a very new Man City team. Like, Foden's scored 6-7 games in a row, hadn't scored in his last 3, I believe. Shirky's hit the ground running. He looks elite. Haaland scored 19 goals, hasn't scored in his last, he hasn't scored in 4 of the last 6 weeks. Like, I just don't, this idea, and Mo keeps using the word narrative. What is it that this narrative that City definitely will improve? And so it surprises me you sit there and think that they definitely will, because what is it that tells you they're going to get better?
Definitely is too strong of a word.
They can.
Have been saying this
anyone can do anything. What does that mean? That's just baseless. Like, anyone can do anything or can't. Like,
okay. Let me break it down. Right, forget that, because obviously a City fan is always going to back his team, right? But I'll say it from a title rival's perspective. The reason why I think City can improve, you've got to understand, this is Shirky's first season. This is what he's doing without really knowing the league. And I know people are going to say people who come from League On tend to do well and transition well into the Premier League, but he's still getting used to his team, and he can, in my opinion,
Shirky.
I
love Shirky.
So I am saying, like, he can improve because he's only going to get better with the chemistry. He's going to understand the runs better. He's already doing that with Foden. He's already doing that with Haaland. I get your point about Haaland. Yes, Haaland's on the form, like one of his forms of his life where he's the one that's, bullying teams to get him over the line. But we're yet to see Rodri come back.
We stick to 1 point at a time.
Okay.
Shirky now, it's just 1 point about Shirky. I just thought about it while you guys all are speaking. Currently, the way Shirky playing football today, over the last 7 weeks, 8 weeks, Shirky's playing up to a level of the best player in the league. Up to that level. He's catalyst. He is the one who's bailing them out. Ask Tarik, by the way. Ask Tarik this question.
I wasn't saying I agree or disagree. I just does everybody agree?
Shirky is playing to, apart from even the last game, by the way, Foden didn't play well. Shirky still created.
Oh, by the way, I'm in love with Shirky. I'm just saying, do you think he's the best player in the league?
No.
Nah,
I'm saying,
okay.
I'm gonna tell you.
Back to that conversation about form.
No, I'm not saying that. In the last 7 weeks, and I said that on a video, actually, for the people watch that video on my channel. I said that Shirky, I titled the video Shirky is the best. Shirky over the last 7-8 weeks, since he was embedded, City started going on runs. City won the games when he came and started now from minute 1, right? People can go check the stats. Shirky climbed from 0 chances created in the league to the top within 7 games.
Yeah,
top chances created.
Wow.
He went to the top of the assists in the league. From 0 assists or 1 assist in the beginning of the season, and he was injured. He went back. He went up. Go check the stats on FootMob. He's number 1 in assists in the league. Just within 7 games. In half, by the way, in half the minutes of the likes of Foden and the likes of Saka, half the minutes, he climbed to the top. So unless we think that Shirky is going to be the best player in the world, I think it's very hard to improve from there.
Okay, that's fine.
It's very hard to improve from there.
No.
Thank you, mate. Cheers, mate.
Okay,
And I just thought about it. Let me finish. And I actually think for a player that is new to the Premier League, I actually think it's hard for him to keep it up because that means he's going to end the season with 20 assists.
Here we go. This is some football analysis.
He had 7 assists. In 600 minutes. That means every 90.
No. But wait. It's not just about
logically speaking, it is hard to do that.
No,
yeah, of course. But it's the Premier League.
It's very hard, you know.
And
I'm not Shirky's brilliant, and I said I'm so entertained watching the link up between Shirky and Foden. It's amazing to watch. It's phenomenal. But I believe it's very hard for him to keep up that level. Otherwise, he's playing up to Zinedine Zidane or Kevin De Bruyne's level.
You guys are looking at one metric and but you're looking at one metric and saying this is what he has to maintain. I'm not just looking at what he can do in assisting or creating wise. I'm talking about the Nottingham Forest game, for example, where he didn't realize how physical that game can be, how quick they can be on the press and stuff like that.
And then he won them the game.
No, that's fine. I'm not saying he didn't win them the game, but what I'm saying is he's going to learn the intricacies of the league. It doesn't matter whether he wins them the game. There's going to be games where he struggles and he has to learn that you're not going to have the time you had at Ligue 1, for example. There's going to be games where you have to be a bit quicker. But even that's just one part of my point.
Can I ask you something? What is more likely to happen? Related to your point, I'm not going to interject. What is more likely to happen? Shirky to continue being the most impactful player or him to at least go back to be like a good player but just regular? Which one is more likely to happen?
Why do you assume one is more likely than the other, though?
I'm asking the question. I'm asking your question. I'm asking anyone can answer the question. Anyone, but I'm not assuming anything, and I will answer it after Tarik and Sol's answer it. What is more likely to happen? Shirky to stay in the level of like he's the best player in the league, or for him to a little bit that hot streak go down and be good?
It's always going to be a balance that's going to happen. Of course, his form is going to balance out. But my thing is, it depends on how you define that, because I think he's going to be integral in their games. He's still going to be important. Even if he's getting the pre-assist and he's not getting the actual assist number, he's still going to be vital to the way they unlock teams. And that's kind of where my point is. I'm not saying he's going to end the league on 20 assists, but what's going to happen is he's going to run the game, the tempo. He's going to start to integrate himself into the heart of being City's, like Kevin De Bruyne. Sometimes there's games where Kevin De Bruyne doesn't register a GA, but you sit there and go, he's been our best player. But that doesn't mean just because he didn't get any of the numbers that we look at, that's what made him the best. No, it's running the game, the tempo, being that guy that unlocks that defense, And the other reason why I'm saying City can improve is because we've seen Doku's been up and down. We've seen most of their wingers, whoever plays on the wings, hasn't been that great. So when they can sort that out, whether it's Savinho, whether it's Doku, whether it's whoever else, Bernardo, Foden, whoever plays on the wing, if they go and get him, obviously he's still not signed yet, but it's basically a done deal. When that also improves, I think there is an area for them to capitalize and strengthen on. So that's another reason. And we know City aren't shy to go and spend in the January window. We've seen them spend 250 million. I mean, I can be corrected on the figures, but it was a ludicrous amount last season.
Good point.
So,
that's a good point.
So
Very
we've
good
got
point.
to understand they will strengthen, and that's a team that wants to win, and they will go and strengthen. That doesn't mean because Arsenal aren't investing or looking to invest doesn't mean we don't want to win. It's just they will sort their problems out.
Yeah.
And you've also got to understand they've got a catalyst in Guardiola. Like when things aren't going well, like we've seen last season where a lot of people said this has been a complete drop-off. He changed a few things, tweaked a few things. Yes, he brought a lot of players in, but he made a way for them to at least go back to being in the Champions League at least and changing their fortunes for that season, because a lot of people were questioning whether they can make top 4 before January happened. So that's the reasons why I'm saying I don't want to write either team off in improving.
But can I not, before I get Kwess or Romario's opinion in this, I'm just going to state the facts, guys, for everyone in the chat. Currently, Ryan Cherky, after getting involved in the City team more, he's only second to Haaland in GA involvement per minute this season. Only second to Haaland. And that is more than 1 GA per 90 minutes, right? That means if he continues like this, we're in for a world-class season from Ryan Cherky, right? But I can actually ask a question about Arsenal before I do the super chat. I don't think there is any player at Arsenal that is playing, especially from the attack going forward, up to their maximum. None,
Fact.
Zero. None
Fact.
of them. Including Saka, Madueke,
nobody in the
Odegaard,
entire squad.
No one.
Maybe
no one
Trossard.
from
So
Arsenal.
not even Declan Rice is playing at his best.
He
no?
said attack. He said
Oh,
attack.
that's why. That's what I'm
Trossard.
trying to clarify. That's what I'm trying to
No,
clarify.
I
maybe
said attack.
Trossard.
None of the Arsenal attack
Trossard
is actually
definitely.
playing. Maybe very good.
Trossard.
That's
Trossard,
about
yeah.
it. And even
Very
that's
good.
on the
Okay.
corner.
See,
Yeah.
I didn't think about Trossard. So yes, Trossard
And
is
Marino, the
basically-
striker.
Marino's not going to get involved once
I
Havertz
know all
comes
about
in.
Marino, innit? You know all
I'll
about
back
it.
that one. I'll back that.
I can say why City will think that when Rodri comes back, because I genuinely, when Rodri came back and played in the 45 minutes of the second half last game, the amount of control he gave City is basically it increased by 2-1 right away, 50% more, right away, 50% more. The pick of passes, the angles he creates for his teammates is ridiculous. Just the brain there is actually crazy. Right?
Facts.
Right. However, Manchester City this season, they have to rely on control. Why? The majority of the times when Man City play the high line, when they have more control, they concede chances this season. We've watched it most games. Pep Guardiola this season is choosing to play a little bit of a more of a defensive game. Right? When they lose the ball, they drop deep, they play compact, then the line drops deep. Last game, he played the high line, got picked 3 times in a row by Sunderland. 3 long balls, the high line was picked.
If Isidore had better hold
right away.
Yeah.
So that's why when Rodri comes back, I'm expecting City to get better, 100%. But also, I'm not expecting it's for me. When Tarik, you asked me why Ryan Cherky is not, I'm not expecting him to continue because I've seen this movie plenty of times.
Sure.
He's a brilliant player, but they're gonna double mark him. They're gonna put more players on him. They're gonna be more physical on him. They don't know him now as much as the coaches will have the game plan to stop Ryan Cherky from being the top of the league assistant. That will happen.
Fair. And I think that's fair. And again, I can't sit here and say definitively that he's absolutely going to end up on 20 GA or 20 assists or whatever. I can't say that definitively. But what I will say is if that happens, then that just opens it up for everybody else. There's a lot of comments in the chat about our wingers, right? We know our wingers are good, but they're not goal scorers. So, which is why we went and are trying to go, I should say, and get Semenyo. We think he'll come in. And so if he comes in, he can score. He's not just a creator like, say, even a Doku or a Savinho who can create, but one-on-one in with the keeper, you're not You're not really high
I'm
confidence.
a true believer in
levels.
Doku. You know that, Tarik. Me, you spoke about.
Yeah, but if you see Doku one-on-one with the keeper, what is your confidence level with that he's going to score that particular goal?
Yeah,
It's not that
I
high.
get your point. Yes.
Savinho had opportunities in this last match and he just couldn't put it away. And I love those players, but that's just not the strength of their
Tarik,
game.
sorry.
So putting an actual goal scorer in those same opportunities means we get more
But
shots
before Romario comes in,
also more assists for the Fodens and the Turkeys who are playing those balls out to him.
Before Romario comes in, this super chat is related to what you're saying. A lot of people are hyping up Semenyo, rightfully so, but the real gem is Eli Krupi. That's the guy that played for them. The kid has 6 goals, mostly off the bench, easy £80 million soon. I actually think that there's a lot of people actually not hyping Semenyo enough. I actually think that there is more people saying you will see.
He's been connected to us, and so now you want to downplay it.
A lot of people are actually saying Semenyo's not going to work at City. He's not good enough. I love Semenyo. I think he's a physical specimen that will suit City. I think his dribbling is elite. I think his both feet are very good. I actually think it's a great addition. And I thought that if Arsenal were more serious about this, they should have sold one of their wingers and actually get Semenyo to prevent City from getting Semenyo.
Mo, can I say on that? Yeah. Firstly, shouts out Eli Krupi. I actually put him in my Wonder Kids to watch at the start of the season. If you play Football Manager, you know about Eli Krupi. That's all I wanted to say. But Semenyo, I think if Man City go and sign Gehi and Semenyo, then I'll start agreeing with Souls and Tarik more. I think if City is truly serious, which they are, they have to sign Mark Gehi. I think City's defense is good. But it always just feels like at least one or two of them are injured. Like John Stones has been missing for a few months. Ruben Diaz is in and out. Feels like Vardio's the only player.
But can I add to
Diaz
this?
has been healthy, but we haven't been able to rotate. So we had to bring in Ake.
Romario said something. If City don't get Gehi, and by the way, as of now, Gehi wants the free transfer in the summer, by the way. He actually wants that bonus, right? We watched Ake play football, and Ake isn't good. For a highlight, right? Like without Gavardiol, Ake is probably done. Like I'm not ruling him out, but it looks like so that
he's
comes
not the same level, yeah.
He's not, but that comes the depth. When the Carabao Cup comes in, you have 2 semi-finals. The Champions League are gonna come in, and now you're gonna have to rotate Gavardiol, Diaz. John Stones is injured.
Yeah,
Ake
all the time.
is not good. So City will have to play Diaz Gavardiol.
They got
There's Kuzanov. There's Kuzanov too.
Kuzanov as well.
Yeah.
Kuzanov as well.
But again, he's a
Kuzanov?
young, unproven player who at times can be rash, who has plenty of pace. He's got plenty of physicality. He's strong.
Yeah.
But he has a rash streak in him. And so those are things that quite honestly, only get out of your game by playing more matches. And right now, I don't know that we can.
So the depth is going to play part in City's season. At the end of the season. Absolutely. It's going to play. Arsenal have like 50,000 centre backs, bro. Like they have like a lot of centre backs.
We've got 4 defenders injured, and we're not even feeling it. We got 4 defenders injured. And
so for me, I'm looking at this, and it's just ridiculous, to be honest with you. Big up, baby Sharks, for signing Semenyo. They're gonna get Semenyo now is gonna be signed by City tomorrow or the day after, or like by Monday, he's gonna be a City.
I hope for T Wiz's sake that I'm assuming he's an Arsenal fan. I hope they go ahead and win the league because baby Sharks, that kind of stuff is gonna come back.
That's
People
what I'm
gonna be
saying.
talking about it at the end of the season if it don't work out. That's all I'm saying.
Can you give the Arsenal peak analysis talk? I don't know which one you're talking about. It's very simple, actually. I believe number one, it's I remember now. I actually believe that Arsenal don't have to go another level to win the league, even if City go another level. I genuinely believe this, and I'm going to explain it again for the people that didn't hear this explanation. Arsenal, even if Arsenal go back to how they were playing when Gabriel and Saliba were fit, even if City go another level, Arsenal will win the league because that team is better than this City team.
But also City are worse.
This City team is different than before. It's not in control. 100%. Yeah. This City team is not. Number one, it's not only worse because of this. I actually said that plenty of times on the Football Terrace and here and on other channels as well. I said, there is a main factor which is called Kevin De Bruyne, right?
That's fair.
Mount Rushmore.
Most of the time that City came back in the second half and played well, Kevin De Bruyne came back and literally that guy There is a reason why he is one of the best midfielders to ever glaze the Premier League, right? Why? He's just a difference maker. Out of nothing, he will win you the game. Not one, two, three. And for the people,
I don't mean to cut you off, but I love and I appreciate the KDB appreciation, right? I love him. But the last couple seasons, he hasn't been the same. He's not the same KDB that he was. Yeah,
I'm gonna say it again.
I'm not going to take anything away from KDB because I love him.
Let me respond to this. Very simple. In the season, when you came back and won the league from Liverpool, when they bottled the league, KDB in the last 18 games, even though Foden won PFA Player of the Season, contributed in more games than Phil Foden, who won Player of the Season in the second half of the season. So when KDB came back from the injury in the second half, he contributed goals and assists in more games. And I know that City, once KDB came back, the City is different now. This is the real Sharks, KDB. And last season, you improved in the second half of the season, right? But you didn't improve to the point that we saw when you won. I think you won 17 out of 19 games or something. Last season, you still dropped points in the second half of the season. You still dropped points in like 6-7 games. That's why KDB is not there. And I'm not saying you're not going to win it without KDB. But KDB is a massive factor. KDB is like I don't think I can praise him enough for what he does on the pitch.
That's
right?
Mo, that's what I was saying earlier. He's so clutch that the idea that City just get better at the end of the season, I think a lot of it is related to Rodri and De Bruyne. I think those two, even Mahrez, City haven't even got a Riyad Mahrez or a Sterling in the squad. Like, Doku's good, he looks good, but is he going to win you games? Savinho the same, Foden and Shirky are the truth, but I think Semenyo's key. But not having that clutch De Bruyne, it's like Liverpool and Salah. You could argue that Salah's clutch gene won them the league last season. Salah's fallen off and they've fallen off. Honestly, without De Bruyne, Haaland's your clutch player. Foden's can become that. I'm not sure he is yet. Rodri's obviously very, very clutch, but City, it's not Shirky. Yeah, he's got it in him.
He's fantastic, bro. Like, I'm enjoying what I'm watching. But for people that ask about last season, in the second half of the season, even though Arsenal took their foot off the gas, right, at the end of the season, City still collected 5 more points than Arsenal. Do you know Liverpool that went to Ibiza in the second half of the season? For the people that say about City came back, right? You know that Man City, that I know that Man City fans, you guys like this narrative that in the second half of the season, City were the top, which is a fact. But top by only 2 points ahead of what Liverpool collected, the Liverpool that went to Ibiza. So City were not formidable in the second half. They were better than 1 win in 12. Definitely they were better than this. But they were in the City that will get to 95 points.
Agree.
Right? I just wanted to say that. Nico O'Reilly got better and everything got better at City. But City still, in the second half of the season, only collected 40 points. That equates to a total of an 80-point season if you hit that form, which won't win you the league. Does that make sense? Does that explanation make sense? That great City that people say that they came back in the second half of the season were fantastic, collected 40 points in 19 games. That equates to 80-point season, which is not a great season from a City, Arsenal, Liverpool point of view. Exactly that.
Expectations.
I hope that people understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I get this.
In the chat. We had a period where we had 8 clean sheets in a row, and none of our frontline players have been better than average. So no level to go is crazy, which is what I'm saying. Even if Arsenal don't go another level and they hit that form, they'll win the league. Because they will get 90-something points. 8 games, 8 clean sheets, 5 shots on target in 8 games, they will win the league. Simple. Like that form was crazy. So spot on, Tevin. If you rate Shirky to this level after a couple of games, it's not a couple of games, right? It's not a couple of games, right? They're not 2. So don't say 2. It's about 7-8 games, right? Then what level are Zubamendi on and performing in the Champions League? Zubamendi is good, but that again, I'm gonna repeat again. Shirky is performing to a level that is up to the best of the best in the history of the sport. More than 1 GA a season, that means he's going to 38, 40 GA a season, right? That is Salah's level last season, right? So, and it's very hard to keep up that level, but it's not only 2 games, my man. What more likely, City better defense or Arsenal get more clinical. Whoever comes out on top decides the league. NQA is no questions asked. Okay, I know. Thank you so much, my man. Which one is
more likely.
what is more likely, Kwess?
I think Arsenal probably being a lot. I actually, because I think this is a good question, because I actually think Arsenal have already gone to a new level. Like at the start of the season, we were seeing them struggle to score goals in a few games.
Mhm.
That's where the whole set piece FC ole narrative came from, right? But I think they've gone on to score more goals. Bournemouth is a great example of today that even though their defense has not looked as great, because they're scoring more goals and at crucial times in the games, they're actually coming away with results, which is super necessary at this time in the season. So what I think is more likely, I think we're seeing Arsenal get more clinical. So that's probably more likely to continue than for City to improve their defense so much. But the thing is, if you just outscore the other team anyway, it's not really going to matter. And I think City's biggest thing is they've got Haaland, they've got Shirky, they've got Foden, they have got Doku who creates. If they add Semenyo and Rodri comes back sharp, I don't think they'll need to worry about their defense as much. I really don't. So yeah, more like
We're going to talk with Rodri. City tactical fouls without cards are back.
I don't even want to hear that, because if you watch the Arsenal Bournemouth game today, my word, the amount that, what's his name? Kavanagh, I think his name is. The amount that he let go was diabolical.
Them throw-ins were mad. I was surprised.
Throw-ins,
For who?
corners.
Arsenal,
Arsenal.
we were delaying throw-ins for probably, and I love it, by the way, but we were delaying throw-ins for like 15. There was one point,
It was nuts.
Capia walked like 10 yards down the line, and then Kavanagh told him get back, and then it took him another 10 seconds to,
Mad.
which I don't mind. We do love a tactical delay. So you're right,
You
Chris.
gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta do it. I now call Arsenal brutes in suits. That's what I call them, because I see
Ooh, I
Gabriel
like
headlocking people. I see the French Gary Cahill, Saliba, just wrestling man WWE on the corner. He gets away, but at the same, I'm like, listen, you gotta do it. You absolutely have to do it, because if you're gonna want to win the league, it's any means necessary. At the end of the day, when you're lifting,
I think Chris
Do you know what?
came to
That's
the
a funny
goal
comment,
or
though.
Rice.
That's
I
funny.
thought I genuinely believe that Chris Kavanagh in the first half was in the game to piss off Declan Rice. Like, he actually denied him two clear free kicks that he will pull back.
He's
And I
jealous
thought there
of his
was a-
hair, Mo, isn't it?
Like,
He's
I don't
jealous of
understand. Chris
Rice's new
Kavanagh
hair.
was like, are you trying to piss off Declan Rice in particular in this game?
Yeah, you know. But
Like,
Mo,
I
it's
was
the
like-
hair. You seen Rice's
might
new
be.
hair? He's inspired by Arteta. He's got that Spanish flock going on, innit? But Mo, I wanted to ask Kwess, is French Gary Cahill a compliment? Is that
it isn't. And I'll tell you why it isn't. When I watch Saliba, yeah, all of his body mechanics look like Gary Cahill.
I know
So
what
that's
you
what I
mean.
mean.
I've not thought about it.
Do you know what I mean? When you watch it, you won't be able to
yeah.
unsee it. But at the same time, I do think it's a compliment, because actually, what Gary Cahill was actually, to be fair,
He was
achieved,
class.
he's actually class. So I'm like, fair play. Like, I actually rate Saliba quite highly. I think Gabriel, out of the pair of them, is probably the one that deserves more credit. But Saliba's top, bro. Like, I rate him, and I actually think.
But can I tell you something about this? I was speaking about this. I actually watching Saliba now. I think Saliba is climbing back to be one of the best defenders in the world again. I think he has. He shook that off his shoulders. That shaky things that happened last season and the red cards and all this stuff that happened to him. I genuinely believe that Saliba is getting more experience. I think he's getting better by the game. William Saliba.
Facts.
I think he's fantastic, actually. But about the game tomorrow, people.
Here we go. Here we go. Kwess, you're in charge, ain't ya? They couldn't find anyone else.
Actually, to talk about the game tomorrow, or we can just move on and go back to the title race and say that City will slap Chelsea by 3+.
Oh yeah, what 6-0 tomorrow? Are you mad?
Really?
Yeah, we're getting cooked. We're getting fried.
Am I mad for thinking you lot might get a result here? Am I mad?
Listen, if we do, it's because God wants Arsenal to win the league. I promise you.
Now, Mo, do you know what it is?
No way.
Nah, Kwess, the only reason I'm giving Chelsea hope, is because, and you said it, Mo, the pressure is on City.
Yes.
And when you're an Arsenal fan, Souls, I don't know what you think, but I don't feel the pressure on City because I'm just worrying about Arsenal. So I'm not really looking at City. I just look at them like they're going to win. But if I take my Arsenal hat off, Chelsea aren't bad. They're not
Oh.
bad. Like, they're not awful. Let's not act like because Maresca's gone, they're just going to turn into bad football players. I'm not writing this off being a draw. I don't think Chelsea can win, but I'm not writing off a draw. That's all I'm going to say. This could.
By the way, I'm going to tell you something, Romario. I'm going to let Tarik talk. There is no reason or logical explanation for this other than it's whatever makes you sleep well at night tonight.
But Mo, football's not logical. But Mo,
It's so illogical.
You know football has no logic. Chelsea went to Bayern.
No, we can't predict the illogical. We're only here to predict the logical stuff.
No, but Mo, I'm
not going to build a whole show on YouTube about the illogical stuff, the intangibles. I'm not going to do that.
This isn't that crazy. As Kwess, I know Kwess saw where I was going.
You can't explain it, Romario.
They went to Bayern Munich's ground, Mo, and won the Champions League with no one in their team. Even I got respect.
Hey, Gary Cahill.
Yeah, shout out Gary K. This is what I'm saying. It's making sense, Mo. Who knows? This might be Chalobah's best game in a Chelsea shirt. Cole Palmer got a bit of a vendetta there. Listen, don't write them off. That's all I'm saying. Tarik, I know you're nervous.
New manager bounce, say.
New manager bounce.
You never know, because we don't know what this manager's going to look. You know what he's going to do. So I mean,
guys, it's not even the new manager. Tarik is not even the new manager.
He's a U21 coach, but still.
So
do I think that we win? I mean, I do think that we're going to win tomorrow, but do I think it's going to be easy? No, because as we've already said, that my team, forget what everybody, Chelsea or whoever else, my team has not been as consistent as we need to be for me to come into any match and just be overly confident. I think not having Caicedo is a benefit for us. I think not having Cucurella is probably a benefit for us. But none of that guarantees anything. We have to go out there and we have to do it on the pitch. And so, we'll have to see. And this is at the Etihad, so that should help us. But I'm not going to sit here and say, you said slap them by how many? 3, 4?
That's not me. The general consensus: 3+ goal margins. That's what people say.
I mean, I hope. But for me, he said 6. You know what? I would.
But I'm going to tell you about something, Tarik. Actually, talking about the game itself, there is a way that Chelsea can actually get a result. It's called counter-attack. Chelsea, every time Chelsea played against a team that have position, like a Barcelona, like a PSG, right? Even against Arsenal, they created enough chances. Every time, regardless of who they played, right? Every time Chelsea came up against a team that likes to control, they created chances. Liverpool, they created chances. Arsenal, they did. Like every game. So if tomorrow Pep goes to play Rodri and he's so much in control and you have the high line and Chelsea put Neto and put Palmer in the half space between the defense and play the long one and just that they do these things, they can do that. I actually, with Romario, people are ruling out Chelsea because they have no manager. But that new manager is not going to change a lot. The new managers, normally the under 20, don't change how Chelsea play. Chelsea actually thrived a lot this season against teams that Chelsea aren't in control of the game. Chelsea struggled against the teams when they were in control of games, like a Bournemouth, like a Karabakh. These are like a Sunderland. These are Brentford. Right,
but
City
you said earlier
that
City have changed to be less possession based and be more comfortable in allowing the other team to have more possession.
Last game, he reverted back Pep Guardiola to play the 60. So I'm gonna give you.
But last game was against Sunderland. Sunderland is going to struggle to keep possession. We're not just going to just say we don't want the ball at all. Here, you take it. But Chelsea has enough quality to be able to keep the ball and allow us to hit them on the counter.
Yeah, you're right, but I think Mo's right in that I don't think your crowd and your fans are going to allow you to sit back. You can't be at the Etihad in a title race playing Chelsea at home and be camping on your that is no. And
to be fair, I'm not suggesting that we're gonna just purely give up.
So let me tell you the
moments. We're gonna hit them in moments.
Can I add a point to this? True, Sunderland is not Chelsea, but I believe that Chelsea tomorrow will do a Sunderland like what they did against PSG and Barcelona.
Bro, facts.
You guys see the difference, right? Like Chelsea tomorrow, if they are smart, they will do a Sunderland. They will do a Forest. They will approach the Etihad game with that mentality that we don't need to control the game.
Facts.
We don't want the ball. You take the ball. It's your ground. You must win. We don't. We don't have to come at you. We don't have to press you hard. Right? If Chelsea are smart, that's the way I would approach the game. There is zero pressure on Chelsea tomorrow. Players or managers.
Just to piggyback on that, Tarik.
Does that make sense, guys?
But yeah, Mo, I agree with what you're saying. I think the one time I've seen Man City play anti-Pep is at Arsenal this season. You guys are pretty much camped in your own half, in your own area for the whole game after Haaland scored, which I don't blame you for doing. It's smart. But a lot of people have said City are going more direct. Yeah, they are. I agree. But I think City have always had an element of directness to them. A lot of Haaland's goals, and De Bruyne was there, was De Bruyne whipping it in. A lot of City's goals before Haaland was De Bruyne whipping it from just in front of the halfway line. Sane and Sterling would whip the ball into the box and someone would slide in at the back stick. It's not always a pretty goal. City and Pep's teams, I think, have always been able to play a little bit of every way. And I just think tomorrow, look, if you want me to be honest, I think City are going to win. But
yeah, 100%.
The ability, they've got the speed. I'm glad you said, Mo, about counter-attack. João Pedro, Garnacho, Palmer, Esteval or Neto or whoever, not Gittins, because he's stinky. But whoever they got minus him should cause City some problems. That's all I'd say.
Do you know what's so dark about this? Yeah, this is what I have to suffer. The horrible sense of like unintentional, but also purposeful gaslighting. Everybody, yeah, because in the summer, yeah. Forget if I just take us back 2 summers. Everyone said Championship manager Maresca can't. Then he does. And he does it expeditiously, like with chest and with poise, yeah, with a sense of quality. Wins us 2 trophies. But then everybody's like, the squad ain't good enough. And then we do really well. And everybody's like, Chelsea could be in a race, by the way. We're not saying this, but everybody else. Then we get there, we fall off.
What? Stop. All of you said you're in the race.
I said it was in a race.
Don't say.
My analogy was very, very specific.
I'm gonna play the clip again.
I always went to
play the clip. I need to see
me.
this. Run the tapes.
Not you. But I'm gonna play the clip of Chelsea fans talking about the title.
They're not me. Again. They're not me, man. Because I always use a very specific analogy. Mine was always about boxing. And the boxing analogy is you always have a challenger and then there's a bunch of contenders. And if you fall anywhere, 1 to 10, at any point you can be called up for a fight. If you get called up and you manage to beat the champion, you're the new champion. But lots of those contenders are fighting other contenders. They may or may not be ready. They just got to take their chance if they get it when they get it. Chelsea were a contender at some point this season, for sure. That's not a lie. We were there. We were in about, what, 4 points?
Chelsea are contenders. Do you believe Villa are contenders? Do you believe Villa
are contenders? But I don't believe they will win the title. They're contenders.
Yeah, that's a great
get in the ring with a champ, if they get in the ring with the champ, could they have a chance?
Boxing man, can you calm down, boxing man? I don't watch boxing.
Yeah, they're not doing.
No, I can vouch.
In the ring with the champions. Look what happened the second time round. It's like AJ Ruiz. Look what happened the second time round.
The general consensus was Chelsea have a better starting 11 than Arsenal. That Chelsea have a better squad than.
No. Me personally, I
know that you heard this clip, right? I'm just gonna. You heard this clip before.
And this is why I've maintained the fact that I believe this team can go the distance in the title race, because this league is rubbed out. It's been shit for years. The problem is we've been on a rebuild during that point. But now this is our best opportunity to take advantage of that. The fact that the table toppers couldn't kill us, they're meant to be mentality monsters, meant to be 90-minute merchants, all of that, they didn't have anything for us. 10 men or 11 men. That might be a bit more of a statement for us than for them.
Look.
Do you know what the problem is with this clip? Forget this clip. Lost this.
I'm sick to death of having to explain why Chelsea are good. We're second in the table. We bought PSG off the park. We bought Barcelona off the park. It's time to acknowledge that this ain't the same Chelsea from the banter era. This is a better Chelsea squad that will turn up for anybody that steps up.
You know my problem with this clip is not Lewis back in his team. That's carefree Lewis. I love Lewis. Brilliant man. Met him in real life. Great guy. The problem is the fans around him. No, my God. And I'm loving it. Like the people around him that are like, they're like ready, you know, to quest. That is the reality.
I've said this before, though. At the time, they were probably justified for what they were saying in terms of we looked so different. But I agree with what you said, Mo. My biggest frustration with Maresca and why I'm not like depressed he's gone is because I could see consistently we were struggling trying to play possession football. That's not Chelsea's thing. Chelsea's always been a better counter-attacking team. When we had Maurizio Sarri back in 2018, 2019, yeah, we had the same struggles. People think this is something they haven't seen before with Chelsea. I've seen this under multiple managers that tried to play possession-based football. Even Thomas Tuchel, one of our greatest managers that everybody loves and was so heartbroken about because he got sacked, tried to play the same way. And the best league finish he had was third. And we lost 2 cup finals under him, trying to play possession-based football. So for me, I was always of the opinion, like, if we actually try to sit in, soak up pressure, hit them on the counter, we will be far better.
But you will never win the league. It's never.
No, but that's not true because we did that under Conte. We went to Etihad with Hazard, Willian, Diego Costa, and we hit them on the counter 3 times.
That was dark.
Bro, the last bar Mourinho, who came back in 2015 and played a brand of possession style football, which was kind of a mix. It was a hybrid of let's hit them on the counter when we can, but also
when I think you understand my point. Chelsea to compete for titles, you'll have to dominate and be an authoritative team. Since Pep Guardiola, I'm gonna tell you, since Pep Guardiola joined the Premier League, only teams with a fixed system that dominate oppositions challenged and won leagues. That way of playing, you can do it against a City team, which is fine. Which is even Pep Guardiola does it. Pep Guardiola, even in the treble season, went to Real Madrid, and when he was losing 1-0, he's like, I can hit these guys on the counter. And he gave Real Madrid the ball, and they got giddy, and they pressed, and then Kevin De Bruyne hit Real Madrid that game, and they came back with 1-1. He actually did it. But the majority of the teams that will, I believe that the football to win the league have changed for the foreseeable future. You have to have a system that dominates. You have to.
You might be right, but I would just say because it's Chelsea, I think we're capable of doing it differently to everybody else does it. Because that's what I always see with my team. So even with the City game tomorrow, sorry, Ram, I agree with what he's saying in that if it would be so Chelsea-like to go tomorrow on a pitch that's far more expansive than Stamford Bridge. This is also part of the problem. It's a real silly excuse, but it is the truth. When we play at Stamford Bridge, the dimensions of the pitch are actually slightly smaller in terms of width, so we can't use the pitch to play the game we play. This is why we saw in the Club World Cup, we were able to dismantle PSG the same way. It wouldn't surprise me we go to the Etihad tomorrow, we sit, they score 1, we soak up pressure, we grab an equalizer, and then somehow, some way, running the game, we end up scoring 1 or 2 and then run away with it. I've seen it happen before. I don't think that will happen because I think we'll get smashed like 6-0. If I'm being completely honest with you, I think we get ransacked, and I've seen it happen before. But it would just be the most Chelsea thing to happen, but it'd also be a complete miracle. So
who's going to play for Caicedo? That's all I'm intrigued by.
Santos will play. It'll be Enzo, Maresca, Cole Palmer, and Santos. So.
This whole conversation null and void. It's just what do City want to win by? 6, 7, 8, 9.
And you see why. Wow. And you see why.
Remember, Andre Santos was one of the best midfielders coming in. Remember that. Always.
Yes, and do you know why he wasn't good?
It's fantastic.
Do you know why he wasn't good? Because Maresca caused him to not be good.
We'll see tomorrow.
Yes, I think I've said this from the start of the season. Chelsea need to build the club on Andre Santos and Estevao. Build the club around them two. It's them two for the future. Yes, I watched Andre Santos for a whole season.
Cole Palmer?
He was I like Cole Palmer. I just don't think he's the one to build it round.
Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
I don't think he's the one to
What?
build it round. Yeah, I mean, look, everybody knows his statistics this year, right?
No, we don't.
How many goals and assists he got this year? I'm not saying he's not
I
good.
don't-
Please, because the chat will they'll kill me, they'll fry me, yeah?
All right, we'll let you explain. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Go
No,
on.
we'll let
But what I'm
explain
saying is,
this is getting interesting, guys.
for me,
I couldn't.
controversially,
I thought
yeah.
we were meant to have a Chelsea fan on the panel.
No, I am. But controversially, yeah, like a couple months ago, yeah, on the terrace, we did a you have to sell one player out of 4. I think it was Caicedo, Esteval,
I'd say
Palmer, and someone. And I said Cole Palmer.
Oh, it was
And the
Reece
reason
James.
why
It was
Reece
Reece James.
James.
Yeah, yeah.
And the reason why I said it is because you've also got to think about resale value. Now, I'm already hearing rumors that this is like they're thinking about it.
Bring
And I
Palmer
can
to the
kind of-
carpet. Bring
I
him.
can kind of understand it in the sense of like, while Cole Palmer has had a phenomenal season under Poch, under Maresca, it hasn't worked. It just hasn't worked the same way. So if Maresca was going to continue to be our manager, it definitely would have been like, it's a sticky one. I just don't know how it's going to go under this new guy. So I'm saying you build it on top of Andre Santos and you build it on top of Esteval, because Esteval brings that excitement. Yes, Cole Palmer, yes. But I'm telling you, the noise at the bridge is different when it's Esteval. So you have to build around the person that I think is going to bring, like, is going to make the rest of the team go, oh, we believe because he's here. Do you see what I'm saying? I think they do with Cole, but I just don't know if Cole can replicate what he did under Poch, because he had a phenomenal. I don't know if he can, like you said about Shirky.
He's a one season wonder. That's what you want to say.
I'm not saying that. I just don't know if he can ever do it to that level ever again.
But isn't that what
You
one season
literally
wonder
just
is?
said one season.
No,
one.
that's not. No, to the same level. Like we're talking about a guy
He's a bad
who
guy.
was coming like 5th in the Ballon d'Or. Is he ever going to do that level again? No, I don't know.
So
But
then
is he?
how far do you think he drops then? Because that's what I'm curious about.
I think Cole Palmer will probably return to doing like 10, 11 goals a season, maybe like 8, 9 assists. I can see him doing that.
What did
yeah.
he do last season?
I think.
What?
I
I'm
think
sorry.
under
Excuse me. Can you say that again? Hold. Stop, please.
Yeah.
Please. Say that
10,
again.
11 goals. 10, 11 goals minimum. Yeah, around
Mhm.
that number, and then assist maybe like 8 or 9 assists. Yeah,
That's average footballers.
but I'm saying from where he was.
Nah, it's
Well,
not.
that's average, regardless of where he was. That's average. That's shit.
That's Kai Havertz
Okay.
numbers, guys. That's Kai Havertz numbers.
Yeah. Don't discount.
I'm just saying where Cole Palmer.
Yeah.
We're talking about Cole Palmer was doing what? What that first season? Didn't he do like 19 goals, 18 goals? Something crazy, bro.
Right.
Do you
Okay.
see what
I
I'm
think
saying?
it's
So that's
23
what
goals in the league.
yeah,
alone or
bro,
something
that's
like that, yeah.
nuts. What he did was insane. He should have never done that coming out of Man City.
Wait,
Anyway,
so hold on,
But
Kwess.
do you not think he's just going to change his position? Like, because I think even if you look at Enzo, when he was cooking, he was playing right wing. That's where I think he should be playing.
yeah. He probably. I don't even think it was the 10 thing. Yeah, I just think it's how Maresca was utilizing the wingers and the striker. That system did not benefit our striker at all. And then with the wingers we have, he wasn't coaching the wingers to be direct enough. They were
But
all.
Kwess,
Yeah.
do you know ultimately what your problem is, Brad? And I spoke about it on Mo's show the other day. Is I don't think the way your owners and club are structuring it allow for the team to be successful. Like I know you won the Club World Cup and the
But
Conference
this is what I
League,
mean.
but Kwess, I know you as an honourable Chelsea fan and
Come
not
on.
that gassed by the Conference League. You can say we've
No.
won it all. I get it. But you're going to get another new manager in. That's it'll be your 5th manager in 4 years, I think.
Yeah.
But the players aren't necessarily bought based on the manager. They're bought based on value, the club's beliefs, etc., etc. So regardless, you mentioned, let's see who comes in. Does it matter who the manager is? Like, does it actually matter? Because they're going to buy whoever they want for the club. They're not necessarily buying these players for the team. Like Esteval, you're talking about resale value. What if you build the team around Esteval and then you sell him to Real Madrid or Barcelona or whoever, PSG for 150, 200 million? Like, I just worry for you. I don't really care, but I worry for Chelsea that your owners aren't allowing the manager and team to be successful. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, this is where I find, like, I try to find a little bit of balance, because I think it wouldn't be fair for me to say Maresca did that and the club didn't, because ultimately he bought those players, and in the summer,
What, who,
that's why-
Maresca?
no, the club bought those
Oh, yeah,
players
yeah,
with
yeah.
Maresca in mind. You get it, and that's
Yeah.
why you have clips like what you saw from Lewis, where he's talking about actually post Club World Cup, we all believed in the squad. We didn't expect it to go this bad. Like this is all sort. This is a bad that I think I haven't seen probably maybe since Lampard's stint. This is bad. Like even under Potter, it was
Is it
still
that
like,
bad?
well, we have the quality. Yeah, it's really. Listen, we're 12 points off Villa.
Do you know?
Yeah,
that's
it's
why-
actually. By the way, Romario, it's actually terrible because
Terrible.
Yeah,
based on all our assumptions, which is all of us here on the panel agree that City will win tomorrow. Chelsea are on course. By the way, haven't had the easiest 10 games of the league, right? So
Don't do that though, Mo.
hold on. Let me just finish that. Chelsea
Easy's
are
League
on
One,
course
bro.
to get 57 points this season. 57 points. You know how bad this is? 57 points.
Well, but can I say one of
Luckily
the
for us,
reasons
the
why I
league
believe-
is so mid, we might come fourth anyway.
Yeah, but do you know one of the key reasons why I think this is also happening at Chelsea, and it's kind of enlightening when you actually look into how that structure operates. They're too involved in things they don't need to be involved in. Like, why are they coming into halftime talks? Why are they coming into full-time team talks? Get the fuck out! You're not meant to be in there. That's not your remit.
They're putting the lineup. Souls, they're putting the lineup.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's not your remit. Shut the fuck up and stay at home. Like, what you doing? Like, the reality of the matter is, this is why they can't get a top manager. And maybe they do. Maybe they do by some miracle.
I think we do eventually. I think we will eventually.
Yeah, but
That they have
Scholes
to
is
change.
right.
No big manager, no Pep
No, they
Guardiola,
won't.
none of these.
No, they won't.
Eventually
man.
they will. Eventually.
No,
Nah,
no,
Kwess,
let me
you know,
explain
you
why I say
can't.
why. I'll tell you why. Because if you're going to say to, all right, let's just say for hypothetical sake, right, you go get an Arteta, go get like a Pep Guardiola, right, for example. Do you think man's going to come into the changing room at halftime and go, oh, the director's here? He's going to tell him to go fuck himself.
But you wouldn't
That's
do
what
that to you wouldn't do that to Pep. You wouldn't do that to Pep.
No.
They will
But this is what I'm
never
saying,
get a top manager, Souls. They will never.
No.
Of
What I'm
course.
saying,
Come on,
no, because
That's
he
what he-
thinks he will. What I'm saying is the reason why this mess is happening as well, why the Enzo Maresca thing is happening, is because they're getting too involved. I get it. Like if he's losing control a bit, you need to allow the manager, not undermine him. What they've done is by being there, they're undermining the manager's authority, and now the players are kicking up a fuss. Go like, look at what Palmer's doing. Palmer should not be doing that. The manager should have more control over what he's allowed to do, and that's kind of where the problem is. When people
But
look
he
at the
knows the manager have no say.
No.
No,
It's not about what they can. What I'm saying is, a top manager is going to look at this situation and go, "Do I really want this headache?"
No.
Yeah, I agree. I would agree with that right now. I think right now in these early years of this project, you're not going to attract top managers now. But I wouldn't expect the project to attract a top manager right now. I
It
wouldn't.
doesn't matter. Your project can be a failure, and you can still try and get a top manager. But
So you agree that the project is failing?
I think right now, as in this season, yes, it's failing.
No. But the
This
reason,
season,
the
yeah.
re-
I don't
reason-
think overall it failed. No.
managers want to be able to go in there and stamp their authority without having someone breathing down their neck.
I know. I agree. Listen. I totally agree with you. Even in a business sense, it would be the same thing. But the difficulty. This is why again I say I try to have balance. Yeah, and I try to not feed into what everybody else says, because when it's popular to say it and it's happening right now, I think there's a common theme and narrative that gets pushed in, and everybody feeds into that. For me, I also look at Cole Palmer in the Conference League final, saying at the end of the game he got bored of going sideways and passing back and forth, and he did what he wanted to do. That's not the owners. That's him rebelling against his manager. So for me, this is where I go, yes, we can all, and again, this is why I said that it's horrible, because for me, as much as Maresca was good for Chelsea, Chelsea was also good for Maresca. They gave him a platform to do what he does best, which is to coach. The first season, his coaching was working well, but he also had some failures. In this second season, his coaching is not improving. We're actually going backwards. But hold on. That's not solely down to the fact that your boss keeps coming into your office. No, it isn't.
It is.
Let me tell you this.
You finish and I'll finish.
Because listen, you as a coach, yeah, if you are coaching younger players, just by default, generally their arc is upwards. We're seeing some of the players that are on the younger end of our squad who had good seasons last year actually drop off. That makes no sense. Players like, and then on top of the younger ones, we're getting the older ones that are actually regressing too. So your Pedro Neto, who was really good last season, he's regressed massively. Tosin regressed massively. Sanchez and Reece James are probably the only two that have improved from last season. So what does that say about the actual coaching? That's not down to the club.
I'll
That's
explain
down to
why.
the coach.
No. I'll explain why. It's the same thing, right? Let's take it into context that we know, right? If you're now a manager, let's say, of your team or whatever in your workplace, and you've got the CEO coming into every single one-to-one, every single PPD, every single quarterly review with your employees, do you not think at some point you're not going to be able to say what you want to say to that employee? You're going to have a bit of reservation. You might not coach to your full ability because, and I'm not going to say it's out of fear, but out of like, yeah, but why is the CEO? Also, how much of that is the player or the employee going to take? Because it's like, why does my manager need to be supervised in a one-to-one situation?
I can agree.
Or even in a team talk, I can't have a team meeting without the director being there. Like, it undermines everything you're doing. So it's the reason why I say it. Your structure needs to change is because if you're not going to trust a coach to do what you're paying, by the way,
but I don't think I understand the point here. Can I
paying huge amounts of money to
can I interject and say no? But can I interject and say so? Julien Laurent was talking about this on the BBC yesterday. He said that one of the main reasons why they weren't happy with Maresca as well is not only because he challenged him, because they thought he's bad for investment. They thought that the investments they made over the last year, over the last summer, are not getting better. The stocks.
Yeah,
he's talking about the Gittins and the Garnachos. They're talking about the Delap, the Joao Pedro.
Yeah.
They were talking about Pato, for example. They're like, we invested in these guys. We want him to make them look better so we can sell one or two of them to recoup our money. That's a stock. And he said the reason why, whatever his name is, Rezenwar, or whatever his name is, right? Liam, that guy, because they believe that he developed some players. That's why they're ignorant. They think that what happened at Strasbourg, they will come to Chelsea and be able to develop these players. They are ignorant. So they will always go to the dressing room. They will always tell him that you have to play these guys. And I mentioned this. I actually said that earlier in the season. I said, Souls, there are rotations that he did that Chelsea fans justified and they didn't make any sense. And these rotations, the only explanation for them, they were asking him to play certain players because of these guys need minutes because these are stocks. It will always happen.
Can I add to it? So it also has now come out and it's been officially kind of like verified by Chelsea journalists as well that agents are calling Enzo Maresca, demanding their players get the playtime they've agreed to. So when you're now looking at this whole situation, the manager's not managing. The manager has to manage contracts. He has to manage minutes.
Come on.
But it's been verified.
That happens at every club, bro.
It doesn't happen.
No. Listen, if you have a client and your client's not getting what you asked for him to get, you are going to be ringing.
But the owners are not forcing him to play. No one is forcing Pep Guardiola to play a certain player. No one is forcing Arteta to play a certain player.
But you know what the difference is with Pep Guardiola? He improves every player he gets, and every player that doesn't improve under him goes.
So you're saying that every manager in the world, if they don't
improve
players,
I'm saying that's the difference between Pep and every other manager. That's my point.
Hold on.
No, but I rate.
You think Brighton are calling Højlund and saying that you need to play that player so they develop him?
It's different expectations, but yes, if your player is not playing as an agent, you will undoubtedly be putting pressure on the club
agent
and the manager to play your player.
Kwess, the agent
Why do we think this is
as they want? But the owners and the sporting directors should not.
So what I will say then is, if you are correct, let's say you're correct, and Maresca felt he was under pressure from agents to have to play certain players, and he gave way, that's even more damning.
No, he gave way to the owners, not the agents.
The agents who are then complaining to the club, the club are then enforcing this.
The agents never called Maresca, they called the club, Kwess. Anyway.
Right. So then if you're Maresca, do you know what you do? You go, listen, to be fair, I don't have to do this, by the way.
What do you mean? He can't say that. They sacked him.
Why can't he?
Because they sacked him.
This is a guy. Don't listen. Don't gaslight me, guys. This is a guy that was talking to Man City in October. This is a guy that was having conversations with with Man City last year. I'm not saying Maresca is the one to blame here. I'm just saying don't.
It sounds like you are.
No, I'm just saying there is.
Sounds like
is
you
blame.
are.
No,
but
No,
regardless,
this
you're
drives me
missing the point, though. You're missing the point that we're trying to make.
No, I
I'm trying to say, look,
understand, but too many football fans are stuck in this mindset where it's like it's almost like this weird mindset of being like, if something goes wrong, has to be the club. Unless the manager is literally Pep or Fergie, everyone goes, it's the club. It's the club to blame.
No
I'm not saying it's not the club.
but the thing that you're misunderstanding, right? I can understand where you're coming from, where it's not, but the club are telling
Where am I
him
coming
what
from?
to do. They're not telling him to manage. They're telling him.
Last point, so
Right.
I don't want to keep you guys for long. I just last.
Every club owner is going to suggest what they think you should do. You don't have to do it.
No. There's a different level, though.
You have to.
What do you mean you have to do it? Why didn't he quit last season? Because he was being told to do this last season.
Let me land the point, right?
Why are we arguing this point in the first place? They were doing this last season, so why didn't he quit last year?
He didn't quit this year. He got sacked.
What do you mean? Have you read the statement? Have you read the statement?
Yeah,
do you believe he quit?
So we believe Maresca unequivocally.
You believe he quit?
I believe it got to a point for him where he said, I can't see the point anymore. And he went, I'll walk away. 100%. You're talking about a man that had no agent.
I think the club and Maresca shook hands. Boys, he wouldn't go, man.
They said this about Unai Emery. They said this
No.
about...
We're talking about
Everybody
Maresca
leaves
who
by
had
mutual
no
consent.
agent, yeah? He had no agent and then signs with Jorge Mendes, one of the biggest super agents in the entire footballing world.
You agree with the
all of a
owners
sudden-
and the sporting directors,
No,
which
I
is
never
kind of
said
crazy to me.
I never said I agree with what they've done. All I am saying is, because I backed Maresca wholeheartedly, loved the guy. But when after the Man City stuff came out from Ornstein, I sat on TFT and said, there's no way I believe this is going to happen. Because Maresca loves the club. He loves the players. Why would he leave? He's got something to build here. Then he comes out after the Everton game and says, the rumours are rumours. I'm not going anywhere. I promise I'm here next season. Now he's gone. And it doesn't say they...
Yeah, but Arteta's done this as well, where he's spoken to Barcelona, he's spoken to this club. Every manager speaks, they all speak. It doesn't mean...
Yeah, okay, speak, but then don't promise.
Let me do this.
That's me where I'm saying...
Where's your evidence?
I think Maresca...
That's a midweek show to talk about the direction of the club.
Hold on, let me land my point. It's about my club.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me land this.
No, we're gonna have to be
my
back
point
tomorrow.
is this.
We need to do it again.
You're crash landing. You're not even landing. That's the problem.
Yeah, because every time I get in the air, you try to swipe it out the air. Come on. Yeah. My point is this with Maresca. Yeah. If you really thought that what they were doing was diabolical, you could have gone about it a different way. But what I saw from Maresca was he starts saying things in press conferences. He starts throwing players under the bus. And then when it got really difficult, he promised he was going to stay. And then within 4 weeks, he left.
But where's your evidence he left? Where's your evidence he left?
It's your mutual consent.
Every single journalist has come out and said it was a mutual consent. That never means...
So what does mutual consent mean to you?
That never means what you mean. Eric Ten Hag was...
So I should believe the journalist unequivocally.
Mutual consent is sack. That's just what they do. They all say mutual consent never is mutual.
It says Maresca waived his fee.
So you telling me Eric Ten Hag quit?
I guess we'll see.
But they said mutual consent. That's what
No,
they
do what you do,
Guys,
man.
let's agree to disagree. Chelsea need a positive result versus City. Can't afford being more than 15 points from a Villa, pull it away, and in much lower cup competition of the Europa. No, they can. As long as Chelsea get top 5, they will be happy. My man, as long as Chelsea are on course to get top 5, they are okay. Right? They're going to panic only when they are far from top 5. Where are these Arteta outers? Ligi and Co is ghost these days. Surely the majority of our fan base is backing him, and now they are backing him 100%. Dave, 100%, without a shadow of a doubt. Everyone is behind Arsenal now. The fans are. I don't see a lot of people actually.
And if they don't want to be, who gives a shit, man? They can go be miserable. I don't care. Cry me a river. I don't care.
100%. But listen, I want to thank everyone that joined us. Tarik channel in the description. Man City channel, absolutely brilliant. It's every Tuesday evening, if I'm not mistaken. Tarik, does his show on his channel. See, I'm following. I'm subscriber. See, I'm subscriber. The Tarik channel in the description, Man City fan. Kwess Knows Ball is in the description as well. It's his first time on the channel. Absolutely fantastic appearance. Romario Webster, guys. Go and support Romario. Does a lot of content about Arsenal as well, and also on TikTok and Instagram as well. Gonna Souls, you'll see here on TFT, on Igal channel, and on Sam. But before you leave, it's another emergency stream. In Osam, of course, Leopard in the Tree. Of course, on Osam's channel. Leopard in the Tree on Osam's channel. He's actually doing an emergency meeting. Leopard in the Tree, people in the chat. I will see you guys on Osam. Thank you so much for everyone that is here. Like the video before you go. We're actually 20 likes away from 300. I'm very close to actually 49,000 subscribers. So if you're new here, make sure to like the video and subscribe. Leave a comment below after the video, and I'll see you guys. We're out of here, people.